It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and this week's theme is called Clash of the Gods, and this is my summit guide. Let's go. All right, real quick before you get into it, man, I play lots of games, not just racing games, and all of that content gets put on my second channel. If you want to check that out, there's a link in the description. If you want to see me play other things, then that's the place to do it. Like I said, link in the description, go subscribe. All right, let's start out with the cars first. There is only one car that you need for this week, and it's the brand new Aston Martin Valhalla. Now, this thing is available in the shop as a bundle. You don't have to buy it in the CC bundle. You can just buy the car by itself. You can pick the paint. You're good to go. You just need to buy the car. It's 1.6 million bucks for this one, and it's kind of a cool looking car. I definitely like the way it looks. I'm not a huge fan of the way it drives. I had very limited access to it just by using it in the summit. I've not had a chance to test it, so the pro settings I'm going to give you today are not going to be the final pro settings. I'm probably going to mess with it a little bit more. I might have those on tomorrow's everything new video, but I'm not 100% on that, so just check back. But for right now, I'll give you some pro settings that'll get you going. It'll make the car feel okay. And these settings are courtesy of Spoona, so shout out to Spoona. Thank you so much, man. It makes the car feel pretty good, but I think I'm gonna make some adjustments after this. So anyways, let's get into it, man. There's a bunch of cuts, a bunch of things that you're gonna have to learn for this one. And first, let's take a look at this week's summit rewards. So for bronze, we got 100,000 bucks, 100 prestige tickets, and the Ivory Tower Esus for the gold reward, and then the green lightning underglow as the platinum reward. All right, here are the pro settings for the car so far. So we got nothing changed up here. We go into the suspension, we're at +8 on the spring front, 10 on the rear. Then we got -15 and -15 on the compressions. And then for the rebounds, we're at +18 and +20. Now for anti-rolls, we're at +10 on both. And for the alignment, we're at -0.25 on both. This gives you a lateral G of 157. So with that said, let's get into the events. All right, here we go. The first event is with obviously the Valhalla. The whole summit is going to be with this Valhalla car. This one's kind of nice, has all these like different decorations for this particular one. There weren't very many decorations in the rest of the events, but it's okay. Let's fast forward to the spot that you need to know about. All right, after this bridge, you're going to cut to the right. This is 63%. And then you're going to slow down to take this turn and the next turn as well. Now the cut after this corner cut, you can actually take this, but it might be faster just to hit this gutter here. You can kind of cut this corner, but there's a little bit of a bump on it, so not really worth it. That's kind of it for this one. The rest of it is NOS management. When you have a long straight, make sure you have a full tank of NOS. Get yourself into a higher gear and blast the NOS like I, just did right there. So anyways, that is it for this one. Let's move on. All right, this next race is a lapped race. I don't really need to show you the full lap because there really aren't any cuts in this one. So with that said, you really just have to stay on your toes in terms of, hitting those lines. Make sure you're hitting the gutters when you need to. Even though, actually, I don't know if there's any gutters in this one. Let me fast forward here. So nothing here, nothing tricky here. I saved my NOS on this first lap until I got to about right here, which you can see my NOS tank is completely full. And then I start using it when I go up the backside of this hill. So anyway, I feel like that's one of the best strategies for this backside. Now this part here, some people can drift this corner, but I tend to do better when I'm not drifting that corner, so I'm not really sure if that's going to be better for you or not, but you could try drifting it if you're getting better times that way. The backside of this hill, there's really nothing to it. I'm telling you, it's really just about NOS management. And then the final corner here, you can actually just cut it a little bit here and just try to stay on the road. I think a gutter is probably better than a cut there. I did run into one stick and that slowed me down a little bit. So anyways, it's really just staying on the course. And if you have a slipstream partner, that's going to help you a lot. In fact, both of these first two events, slipstream partner definitely will help get you a better score if you guys can stay close together. All right, let's move on. All right, the third event is full of cuts. So for this one, I'm just going to fast forward. This first part is just like, Kiss Me Combi or whatever, just along the coast here. And there's nothing special here. You're just staying on the road. Now, when you get to about right here, this checkpoint here coming up, you're going to reset your car at the checkpoint. So reset. And if you don't know how to reset, you go into your difficulty settings and turn off rewind. So difficulty rewind off. All right. Once you reset, you're going to turn left immediately on the reset. Try not to hit any trees. Obviously, a tree is going to slow you down, but just go around the trees, go towards this checkpoint here, then go through the woods. And what you're looking for is this 2 trees here with this like diagonal one. Don't run into the diagonal one. You don't want to hit that, but you want to go just to the left of it right there. That's the gap you're looking for. Now on this, you want to set it up by going kind of close to the building, then go back to the right and watch for this wall. You're going to enter the road after the wall ends there, and try not to hit it. I actually bounced into it, which slowed me down a little on this particular run. Now here at 58, you're going to cut across after this barn. And that's about it for right now. Let me go fast forward. Gutters up these hills here, and then control your speed coming out of this tunnel. It's really easy to go too fast, and make the right here. I really didn't race this very well, I'll be honest with you, but at least I can show you guys the cuts. All right, so we go through here, and I don't think there's any more cuts. I cut this corner, but I mean, I think it's faster if you're in the gutter. I don't think a cut here is necessary. I was just trying to, you know, give it a try here. We go through here, and that's it. Finish line. So let's move on. This is the 4th race of the summit. This one I spent the most time on, and it's because it's such a long race that if you have a mistake on like later in lap 2, then you end up using like, you know, 5 minutes of your time. You have to go back and restart again. So anyways, I'm going to show you the first lap here and kind of give you some of these you know, pointers here. I would hold off using NOS until about right here, because you know, you're gonna start this off-road cut here. So right here, you're gonna go a little bit towards this left side checkpoint, use the jump here to use NOS, and go across straight. So you notice there's a, you know, a checkpoint flag right here that you have to hit, and then when you jump as well, make sure you guys are going through the checkpoints. All right, then across the field here, control your speed. All right, nothing fancy here. Now there's a cut here at the end of this straight here, so make sure you brake heavy, and then I would keep it in like 5th or 4th to go across here. Make sure you cut it nice and tight. You don't want to go too far out. You're going to end up in the other side of the buildings. At the end of this straight, you're going to hit this checkpoint flag and reset. So reset here, and then you're going to go up this hill, use the gutters. We'll keep going. There's no cuts here. Use the gutters. And as you go to let's see, nothing here. All right, this part here, definitely slow down for this corner. You got to make sure you can make this turn, and then get yourself a lot of speed if you can, and jump off the mountain here towards the next checkpoint. Now my car kind of messed up there. There's a much cleaner, you know, jump that you can do, but I went ahead and, you know, just went with this. This was my fastest run, so I ended up you know, being tired of restarting this race. So anyways, that is it for that one. If we go down the hill, we have gutter turns here, and then at the end of this hill, you're going to cut the corner, and make sure you get close enough to that flag, and then restart the process. Good luck with this race. It's a long race. It's a race that can be frustrating, and so hopefully you guys have an easy time with it. All right, let's move on. All right, the 5th race is one of those races where you get a limited amount of NOS. So there's very specific NOS points that you want to use your NOS in this particular race. Now there's one optional thing. If you want to use your NOS off the starting line, which is what I did, then you're not going to have one of those NOSes on the final lap. So you can choose, do you want it on at the starting line, which is what I did, or do you want it on the final lap? And I chose the starting line just because it seemed like it just needed it more there. When you're at a dead stop, you want to use that NOS to get going. So I used it on the starting line. Anyways, to get your NOS, you have to earn that at the beginning with these 3 you know, nitrous signs. As soon as you see the thing turn red or pink, whatever color it is on your screen, as soon as you see it turn red, that's when you click the trigger, the gas button. So it looks like this: pink, click it; pink, click it; plink, click it. There we go. And I said plink. That's okay. I can't talk right now. I'm getting over being sick. Anyways, the NOS patterns are on this straight, you use it, and then there's another straight that you use it. There are no real cuts on this race because it is on the track, but there is one wall bounce that I do recommend. So let's fast forward. You're going to use it on that straight, and you're going to use it after this particular turn in the tunnel. So once you get through here, use your NOS and upshift accordingly. And when you get to here, you're going to flick the car to the left and wall bang, and that slows you down for this corner. So that's how you're going to handle that. When you get back to this straight, NOS. When you get to the tunnel, NOS. Back to this straight, NOS. That's how you're going to do it. You're going to run out of NOS one time. And what I recommend on the final lap, since you are, let's see here. Here's the 4th lap. Coming into the final lap, you have 1 NOS to enter this lap. Just don't use it on this part. I wouldn't use it here. So just go like this. Go ahead and accelerate normally. and then use it on the tunnel. So that's it. Let's move on. All right, the last race again with the Valhalla, and let's go ahead and just fast forward to the cuts. All right, the first one is a small one here at 30%. You want to aim between this light pole and that light pole, like the second to last one and the last one on this hill. The reason you do this is because there's a little like hill crest here, and if you don't cut over early, you're going to end up in the grass, or you have to take the turn really slow. So it looks something like this. So I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see it. It's like this. Line it up to the left and then cut over. That way you end up on the road. It's a simple one, but it's necessary. Fast forward here, cross this one, no cuts here, no cuts here. Let's see, I don't remember if there's any more cuts on this race. Okay, we go left. All right, and maybe not. Let me see. And you have a left hand here. You can cut this grass here. I did it kind of poorly, ended up hitting the wall, but you can cut that grass there at 90%, and that's it. That's basically it. Then you nos to the finish line. Whoa, my recording got really framey here. Yeah, that's it. Nos to the finish line. All right, on the escape, this is where you spawn. You're gonna go on this road to the left to set up your start to the escape. So you go back left here and get a little run up on this. So go over here and turn around and make sure you hit this this gutter here and use a lot of nos here just so you can get going. So it's like this. Nos through the tunnel here. Then you go through here, go down. Make sure you're hitting these gutters here. Now your goal is to avoid this circle basically all the way to the highway. And the way you do that is just by making those gutter turns nice, making this turn nice. I overshot this actually. Oh, my frames, dude. Holy moly, I really need to figure this out. Anyway, so you go through here and you're basically on this road for the remainder of the race here. So that's it. Let's move on. All right, the speed trap is again a jump. That's how you get more score than normal. It's this hill right here, and you're gonna fly to the speed trap using your nos. Now to do this, you need two things. You need to have Nitrochemist set of parts with frenetic and pure. Those are your two affixes, frenetic and pure. You need those because the frenetic actually increases the power as you're holding the button. Okay, now the next thing is you want to line it up with this. So let's look at the mini map here. This is the line that you're going to take. So take a look there, study it. This is where you want to go. Now the other thing is you need to use the nos refill like glitch or exploit. When you press the pause button and unpause, it gives you a full tank of nos, and you're going to do that right before the jump. So that's how you're going to do it. Then just float your way to the speed trap using the nos, and you'll get over 300 miles an hour. And this car caps out at 300 miles an hour. So anything over that, you know you're doing good compared to just driving straight on the road. All right, and finally the slalom actually gives you more points by going backwards. So this was forward direction, 15.9, and then I went and did it backwards. So I started from this side over here, and this one resulted in like 17,000 points. So you go around, go back around this way, and 17,000. So you actually get more score for going the opposite direction. So do that, especially if you don't have parts. But if you have parts, it's not going to matter either way. You're going to get a full score as long as you have score breaker as your set bonus, skilled as your affix, and then the other one doesn't matter. But skilled all the way up, score breaker all the way up, and make sure you put legend points into your skilled affix on your legend points as well. So make sure you do all that. You're good to go on the slalom. All right, here are my final scores. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions about this, send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. I read every single message that comes my way, and I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.